Hello. Welcome back to Process of Elimination. We will be continuing Chapter 5 tonight. Probably getting, we should be getting close to the end. Should be wrapping up this chapter not too long from now. And yeah, we left off at a pretty freaking interesting place. We are not sure if Workaholic is dead or not, and there's some shit going on, so let's figure this out. Workaholic, if you can hear me, say something. Workaholic? I call out to him as I repeatedly administer the AED to his heart. But time passes and his eyes don't stir even once. Workaholic? Wake up, I'm begging you. You have a family waiting, don't you? Open your eyes, please, Workaholic. Workaholic? Hey, my characters. I forgot I play everyone now. It's been over 10 minutes since resuscitation began. We should stop, the girl said remorsefully. Even a doctor would have called it by now. There's nothing more to be done. No. 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 My legs give out as I sink to the floor. I had finally decided to protect the lives of others to the very best of my ability. But the moment Workaholic gave me a chance to put my words into action, he died. What a bitter, darkly ironic end. Oh, I guess he is dead. Okay. Well, I know we're only about a minute in, but I guess that's it, right? We can end this. We can end this one here.
Yeah. Yep. I think it's a good time. Yep.
Yeah. Apart from the stab wounds on his chest, his body remains untouched, making it harder to accept as reality. Was he really murdered? Who would do something so awful? We're the only survivors left now, which means there's only one person who could be the culprit, right? That's right. There's no doubt about it. The electrocution caused the alarm, which occurred when the power returned. So Workaholic was killed when the tripped breakers were reset. All of us were with somebody else. That leaves only one candidate who could have set this trap. It was him again. Renegade Detective. The timing with which the breakers tripped was too perfect. He planned from the start to escape under the cover of darkness while killing Workaholic at the same time. Could it have been his plan to lure us here? Renegade Detective was waiting for the elevator to be repaired, was he not? The girl asked. Yeah. What Bookworm says makes sense. Even with the key, he couldn't use it while so many of us were camped out in front of the elevator. What if he's using Workaholic's corpse and the alarm to distract us? That explosion could have been Renegade Detective destroying the elevator after he finished using it. Let's get back over there. We gotta find out what's going on. I take the lead as we head over to where the others are waiting in front of the elevator. An unthinkable sight awaits us when we arrive at the elevator. Huh? What happened? The elevator is stuck, its door slightly ajar. Blood drips from the gap like a tap left running. Against my will, the overwhelming stench of blood forces me to imagine what tragedy could have transpired inside.
The elevator was functioning, so I summoned it to our floor, and this is how it appeared. The inner doors will not budge, and everything is covered in blood. The three of us weren't strong enough to open it. Competent, could you help us out?
Yes, of course. We all grab the gates and pull with our combined strength. The metal scrapes along as it gradually shifts. The more the gap widens, the more blood spills out. It's like opening a portal to hell. I don't want to look, but I can't bring myself to avert my eyes. Once we forcefully pry the gates apart, a swirl of emotions assails me. A headless corpse tumbles out of the open elevator. Blood flows from the stump of its neck. I know I've seen this body before. That body. Those clothes. Could it be... Renegade Detective?
What? But Renegade killed Workaholic, did he not? So why is Renegade himself dead as well?
Perhaps it's a decoy. We should thoroughly inspect the body. Stay back, Bookworm. We'll take a look. We cautiously approach what appears to be Renegade Detective's remains and investigate. I haven't seen a decapitated body in a long time. Nauseating, isn't it? There wasn't a lot of time between now and us losing sight of him. Who cut his head off and how?
The collar Workaholic mentioned must have gone off. This is all so horrible.
So what we heard a minute ago was the collar detonating? But what caused it? I refuse to believe the Renegade Detective could die so easily, the girl said, sharing her candid opinion, while covering both eyes with her hands. Yeah, I feel the same way. It looks like the Renegade we know so well, but without any head on his corpse, we can't tell if it's really him. Knowing him, it doesn't seem impossible that he's still hiding somewhere, alive and well. And then there are further mysteries atop all of this. What? We hear a tremendous boom from above us. It feels closer than the last one, if the shaking floor is any indication. If the first explosion was the collar, then what's the second one? There are too many peculiarities about all this, don't you think? Absolutely. Renegade was the only one with an elevator key, so no one other than him could have called for it. But Renegade was killed on an upper level, so maybe it makes sense to assume someone besides us was on the surface.
Someone besides us? But who? Were they in the research facility above ground the whole time, waiting for him to arrive? If that's the case, who could have murdered Workaholic? Say somebody was biding their time up there presents a clear contradiction.
The two of them were simultaneously killed on separate levels, but the conditions for each murder conflict with the other. If we were to name this case, then the case of the Paradox killings would be apt, said the girl, sharing her thoughts. Paradox killings? Everyone apart from Posh and myself was in the lobby, with an obvious fact that none of us could have killed Workaholic. Renegade Detective's the only one who had the opportunity to kill him, but he was killed too. Could there be someone else on this floor? Or is there someone like me, with superhuman abilities to defy these contradictions? Holmes, what do I do? I ask Holmes, but I don't see her. She hasn't appeared at all since I remembered my past. Does that have something to do with why I haven't seen her since yesterday? Or is she choosing not to appear to me? I don't understand what's going on at all. But there's no time to wait. We won't be able to escape this island if we don't unpack this mystery. We're so close to escaping. Our only choice is to solve this case, no matter what it takes. Chapter 5. The Case of the Paradox Murders. I don't know if it's going to start an investigation. I don't think it will, but I'm going to save just in case.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think you can reach headquarters? No, nothing's changed. The comms network is just as unstable as it was when we first arrived on the island. Still, it's already been a week since we lost contact. Assuming they've noticed something's off, help should arrive soon. There's no way we'll miss a rescue team as long as we're on the surface. Guess our best option is to sit tight and wait for now. Come to think of it, this lobby looks exactly like the one underground. Oh, I guess they went upstairs, actually. I just assumed they were still in the same lobby. Just because it does look exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure that's on purpose. The elevator has no button for going down below, and you can't get there without that special key. It was clearly meant to be kept secret. Maybe it's designed like this so that even if pictures were leaked, they could explain it away. It's likely that there were members in the research facility who, like me, didn't know about the underground sector. So even within the organization, they really didn't want anyone knowing, huh? We all have a look around, and while there are traces of an explosion, there isn't anything too unusual. That is, apart from one thing in particular.
Incompetent. I found Renegade Detective's head.
So, we can play volleyball?
Or soccer. Just kick it around.
Ugh, this is horrible. It's not aerodynamic at all.
This is horrible. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was me.
I don't know, man.
I think it was me. It's overwhelmingly graphic. By no means can we let bookworms with photographic memory see it. We keep watch, ensuring the rest don't notice. The area where the collar was implanted is scorched, confirming the noise we had heard before was, in fact, the collar detonating. So the cause of death really was the collar exploding.
Hang on, Gourmet said he was caught between the elevator and floor and died from shock as it tore his head off. There was a gap in between the elevator doors, remember? Judging by the scorch marks on them, it was forcefully made by an exploding collar. And then the elevator started moving, with his head still stuck in the gap, which, you know.
Which tore it off. It's hard to imagine anyone doing something so sickening. The plan must have taken into account how old the elevator is, not to mention its lack of security measures. Whatever the case, it's horrifying. Is this going to be... I mean... I get the feeling this is going to be a situation where Renegade really did plan all of this, including his own death. But...
It wouldn't be surprising. It could be like a fake out of some sort.
Yeah.
He is pretty cynical, so...
Yeah. And then it's... Yeah, and I guess the other thing is we can't discount Workaholic's role in this, because Workaholic was also, kind of crazy and hell-bent on killing Renegade, so it's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible that he was part of this too, though I don't think he would have gone to kill himself for the plan.
Yeah.
So it's possible they both killed each other. Oh. Or Posh finally did something.
Yep. Finally did something useful, that is.
Let's see how old the elevator is. Information is lack security measure of the case is horrifying. Okay, I think I read that already. Wait, there are burn marks on his neck, but that doesn't make sense if he wasn't killed by the explosion.
It must have been the second explosion. Renegade Detective took a number of reserve collars with him, right? He probably used one of them to blast elevator doors open, so maybe the second was the one on his neck going off.
So the collar on his neck detonated after his head was already torn off? He may have had it coming, but it's hard not to feel for him.
Yeah, it's hard to believe someone could think up a murder like this. The quartering Duke's far crueler than we thought.
So the culprit detonated a reserve collar to force the elevator open, then stuck Renegade Detective's head in between the doors and escaped. When the elevator moved, it tore off Renegade Detective's head, which rolled to the ground, with its collar going off shortly after that. Why go through all that effort? I can't make any sense of it. Why jump through all these hoops to kill Renegade Detective with the elevator specifically? It'd be way quicker and less risky to do away with him by hand.
There's also this, which I'm guessing was made to mock us. It's attached to the elevator's operating panel.
Waffles takes a piece of notepad paper from his pocket. Scribbled upon it are the words, "Warning, this button may cause death." It really did mean death. a renegade detective.
Yeah, maybe Renegade Detective knew he was about to die and jotted this down as a joke. I was so tense when I pressed that button.
This is nothing to laugh at, though. And again, trying to inject humor into such a morbid situation would be so very like him. We finish examining his corpse and return below ground. I found spare collars in his pocket, probably the same model that was implanted on him. Workaholic mentioned it before, but these devices can be remotely detonated via transmitters, such as a D-pad. How can it be done on a D-pad? All you'd have to do is use the messaging function to send a keyword to the target. Keep things simple, let's call this keyword a command. I've analyzed the internal data and confirmed that the detonation requires a command from 3 or more devices. Meaning 3 or more D-pads, so basically 3 or more detectives would have had to send those messages to Renegade Detective. Workaholic said that he needed my help with the detonation, so he planned to have me, himself, and an unknown third party use our D-pads to trigger it. Ooh, see, that's gonna be the big thing. Who is this third person? And they probably aided in this whole thing.
Yeah.
By the way, there's also a security function that causes it to self-destruct when the back is pried open, preventing you from seeing any internal data.
This is straight out of a spy movie. Wouldn't that be used to trigger an explosion?
It'd go off in under 10 seconds, and you can't open the back when it's attached, so it's hard to utilize systematically. At best, it could be a small bomb. So you could use one to bust open the elevator doors, but anything else beyond that would be a lot of extra trouble. Did the culprit sever Renegade Detective's collar, remove it, and detonate it? Now, that'd take too much time and leave even more evidence. It makes more sense for it to be detonated the standard way, remotely. Can you tell which devices were used to do this? Unfortunately not. The detonated collar was blown to smithereens, so there's no way to check. What if they use the D-pads of those who've already died? The girl asked, presenting a third possibility.
That could be a workaround, yes, but then again, they would each require fingerprint recognition, so only their owners could use them, correct?
Why not just cut off a finger from a corpse and take it with you? The girl replied.
Gracious, what a dangerous mind you have lingering behind that sweet face.
Well, it is a possibility. One could easily carry around a severed finger or two. If the culprit is the quartering duke, it's definitely not out of the question for him. Oh wait, Workaholic and Renegade mentioned an alternative method of triggering the detonation, right? Maybe the culprit used that instead. Good point. That's something we'll need to look into. Thanks for bringing it up. Also, we finished Workaholic's post-mortem report. The cause of death is cardiopulmonary arrest due to prolonged electrocution. The stab wounds on his chest imply that he fought someone, but they don't seem to have anything to do with how he actually died.
Also, there's nothing off about the shutter. The underground research facility was totally cut off from the outside ever since we arrived.
So that means the culprit is here somewhere. We've all been moving about together, so our alibis line up perfectly. I am again reminded of Bookworm's remark about these killings being paradoxical. Both of them died at virtually the same time, one above ground and one below. If we fail to address that, then we won't solve this case. Everyone's gaze instinctively turns toward me. I get it. It's become something of a pattern for an investigation to only really get going after I give the word. I can do this. I have to. I speak aloud and try to encourage myself. Ideal Detective isn't here, making this my first time taking charge all on my own. I'm nervous, but it's something I must do. Alright everyone, we could just head to the surface and call for help, leaving all of this behind. But we're detectives. Whenever a case presents itself, our only option is to investigate it. A tragedy has occurred right before our eyes. It's up to us to reverse it. Everything about these two deaths is bizarre. Our investigation begins as we strive to detangle this mystery. Okay. Investigation time. Good. Well, on the upside, I don't think there's going to be anything that can kill us in this one. At least there's a few. Oh, no, never mind. There's some things, but we know where they are at least. So
Yeah.
hopefully that's the worst of it. Okay. Well,
Not too much of a pain.
yep, and we can actually control everybody in this one. Not that many people left. So let's see. So I could send Doleful over here. Inspect. Yes, nice. Okay. I think she's putting inspection 3. Not enough. Oh well. That. Nope. Okay. And then inspect that one. And now let's do preliminaries.
Why, if it isn't a rubber wristband for guests, who dropped it here? We need to return it from whence it came.
Okay, we got a rubber wristband.
Huh? There's something on the floor. It's the remote for the AC? What's it doing here?
Okay. Does this photo belong to Posh? And we're gonna get it. Okay. I don't know. There's supposed to be one of these in like every investigation, but so far we've only found 2. I don't know where the other ones actually were. After dinner, in my infinite wisdom, I reflect upon the day's events and chart our next course, as one would expect from a chief detective. Oh, this is Posh narrating. Okay.
It has been an entire 24 hours since our imprisonment within this manor. A rather precarious situation, to say the least.
This is all you.
This is all me. Okay.
Yeah, Posh is narrating this. This is just her.
Yeah, I'm surprised it doesn't like say her name like it did before. Like,
well, it's because it's her inner thoughts.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Although we have access to ample provisions, morale will inevitably crumble in due time.
Yeah, like that first line I read, you were supposed to read too, but I didn't realize it at the time.
Those with such temperaments as Rowdy's, blunt with a strong sense of justice, could run amok at any moment. I must keep them in check.
So, well,
I'm the chief.
did
I'm
that
the
for
best.
you. Yep.
I'm number 1.
Yes.
Though I feel ideal detective, that is, Holmes, would have done a finer job of doing so. She's dead.
I guess this is after the night that happened.
I recall the face of my eternal competitor. Ultimately, I was never able to best her. A knock sounds at the door, breaking me from my reverie. Keeping my guard up, I open the door to see Workaholic. In his hands, he holds a teapot that I remember spotting in the dining room.
And you complain about not having enough stuff to voice.
Damn straight, it's my time to shine.
It is. This is your episode.
Saw on the security camera that you were still up. If there's something on your mind, you like to discuss it over tea? My, aren't you a perceptive one? For a commoner, I shall humbly accept your offer. Black tea is mental fuel for the noblewoman, after all. Workaholic beckons me to sit on the bed before pouring some into cups on the desk. After adding in my preferred amount of sugar, he prefers
Proffers, yeah, I guess it's
proffers
proffers. Yeah.
proffers a drink to me with meticulously practiced ease. I don't like her proper speak, man. I just
Mm,
don't.
yeah. Whoops. Hold on. I accidentally hit the auto button, I think.
Uh, I read
Proffers,
read
yeah, just
that.
this one, yeah.
The full-bodied aroma wafting from the cup soothes my weary mind. From the looks of it, you've been overworking yourself since yesterday. Are you doing all right? Overworking myself? Preposterous. I'll thank you not to think so little of my aristocracy. No need to put on a strong front. Weren't you and the chief on close terms? She'd always go on about how you were going to blossom one day. Holmes said that about me?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
Mm,
And in spite of her constant mockery, too, to think she would leave such a sentiment behind upon meeting her demise, the yellow-bellied coward. I nearly speak my vitriol aloud before I realize the words will not reach her, quietly swallowing my vexation. I'm well aware of your circumstances, all the pressure you're under to rebuild your family's standing. Only you would continue to use your legal name in spite of the risks. Ariel Allen Pinkerton. I find your commitment impressive, actually.
okay.
Having said that, it's also cause for concern. I fear you'll grind yourself down to nothing, the way our old chief did when she died defending us. He has me pegged. I feel my voice hitched in my throat. However, a proper chief cannot allow such commentary to faze them. Thus, I maintain a cool demeanor and give my reply. Bear in mind, I am of society's upper crust. Thus, it is my duty to suffer on behalf of the common people. As acting chief, I have an obligation to protect those around me, for Holmes' sake as well. So please, do not trouble yourself over this. Got it. You're right. If things were that simple, you wouldn't be struggling like this. Just hope the day comes when you let yourself cooperate with those around you, rather than trying to shoulder everything on your own. It's too late for some folks, like me and the old chief. With that, Workaholic excuses himself. Left in my own company, I begin to ruminate upon his words. It was too late for Holmes and Workaholic, was it? Well, to that, I refuse to change either. Since my birth, no other soul has tried in earnest to restore the Pinkerton name. Far from assisting my endeavors, many have taken to mockery instead, but trials by fire are all that I know, and I am of no mind to alter my methods. I'm just gonna be a bitch my whole life. Rest assured, Holmes, even if it should claim my life, I shall oust your killer and see this group home safely. Well aware she cannot hear me, I voice this proclamation to my lifelong rival nonetheless.
Oh, and this is funny because we knew from when this happened that Holmes actually went to visit Posh's room that first night. So
Yeah.
she can hear you.
And she could see you.
Oh
See
yeah.
everything.
Okay. So let's see. I haven't moved Techie at all apparently. Where's Techie? Oh, he's down there. That's why. Okay. Well, I'll do something with him.
Very interesting monologue.
Yeah. I might actually go at some point off stream. I might go and like try to see if I can find all the ones we've missed and like get saves on them so we can do them at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything? Okay, so we have 3 things to analyze, and 2 people they can analyze, and Techie. So let's see, what do I want Techie to do? I guess he could move in here and analyze something. And then, what's the button? No, not that. That button. Okay. Okay, and you can analyze everything. Perfect. So, at this point, just full investigation. This wristband glows in the dark. If Workaholic had this on, I bet you could locate him even in a blackout. If one were careful, they could also control when he was electrocuted. Sort of like flipping a switch. Nice. Upon rereading, I noticed a passage on the manor. It was designed by an architect named Meicho Aragi, known for his poor taste, the girl said factually. My analysis shows that the temperature and speed were at max, and the timer was set to just before the crime. This was the culprit's doing, no doubt. Okay, so let's have him do this. Inspect from here. Yeah, nice. We get all this stuff out of the way, and then we'll start getting the these, I guess. She can start on that now, I guess. Well, it wouldn't really help have her do that alone. Just her and competent. Okay. Let's move him over, I guess, then. Get rid of that. So we'll start having her infer. Okay. Broken USB? This can't be a coincidence. Who did this and why? Okay, so we got that and that. New keywords. A blood stain, but whose blood is it? I need to analyze this, quick. Oh, I guess then maybe he can analyze something. 5 and 5. Oh no, Techie has to analyze these. I think Techie's the only one with 5. 2, 1, 3. Oh no, Posh also has an analyst at 5. Okay, so they'll both analyze next turn. Well, it's just that. Something's going on with these. I don't like how it goes to them every turn. Probably have to do something with those. Have analyze. Her analyze. Nice. Oh. Inference is 6, so she can actually do this one on her own. We'd have to be able to get there. No, oh wait, she can just do it. Okay. I already had her do her thing. Okay, let's get some of this preliminary out of the way. Let's see. Oh yeah, you need this.
Competent aside, only Workaholic was bleeding. He fought somebody prior to being electrocuted and washed his hands in the shower.
His wounds, but okay.
His wounds. What'd I say?
You said hands.
No.
I mean, washing your hands is important. So, well, let's...
I don't know how that came out.
Well, the culprit overloaded the breakers, causing a blackout without touching the distribution board. They must have used the AC to pull it off. But how? Okay, then unlock that. It's a keyword. Okay, the memory chip is intact. There's a special method of triggering the caller saved on it. I'll do a thorough analysis and report back. What's that? It's gonna be a lot. That's probably the end goal, I imagine. I don't think there's anything else I can do, so... Probably want to get some people over here. That's a 13. So she has 2 and he has 2, but they both have assistance of 6, so I can get 8. Then I guess they can finish it next turn. I want to have Doleful start clearing these. And then 6 and 4. This is also 4, San Francisco 3. Okay, well, I'm gonna move all these people over here. I don't have anything left to analyze, right? Yeah. And then, yep, so I think just investigate. Okay, so let's that. That, and then and that's that turn. Pretty quick.
The burns on Workaholic's skin prove that he was electrocuted through the cuffs, though the shock could have been prevented were his wrists covered.
That's it. That's how the culprit timed the electrocution.
Huh? Oh, I see. Yes, it is only natural then that an aristocrat of my caliber would figure it out. In fact, it is all rather simple.
Interesting. Every PC here was forced to shut down. Last time we ensured they were properly turned off. They were on in every room when the outage hit, then...
I disarmed the bomb, just like Techie taught me to. Everything should be fine now.
Okay. I'm gonna have him disarm this one as well. Okay, now everyone else can move. Let me see if I have to. Do I have to analyze anything? No, because the MPs never need analyzing. So I basically just need to do that, and then I need to unlock that. So I'm going to start moving people towards these things. Let me get her a little closer. Okay. I don't know if I need to disarm all three, but I probably will. Got these last three keywords. Oh, and I guess. Oh, he's not close enough to inspect that, huh? Whoops. Oh well. These bombs shouldn't be too much of a hassle as long as we pay attention. Time to put this naughty bear back in his toy box. I forgot there were, like, stuffed bear bombs. Okay. We're cutting it close, but we should be fine. Let's see. Inference 3, so I think he's better off doing this. Oh, well, yeah, we're definitely gonna be fine, because then we can have her assist, and then I can start everyone over here now. Make sure I didn't miss anything else. Yeah. It's gonna suck when it turns out I actually do need to do like a completely different thing. And we lose because we run the time.
Yeah.
Okay. We just need 8 more, so. Unless the other thing that I would need to do is right here. We would be screwed regardless, but.
Unlike Workaholic, Renegade Detective's body isn't actually wounded. Did he die in totally different circumstances? Like, by chance or something?
Yay! And we got the thing this time. Okay. I think that will be a good place to take a breather for the time being before we get into deductions and everything. So yeah, let's take a break.